Hello and welcome. This is Ruth, and today I have 4 beautiful die sets to show you. I'm going to show you this one first of all, which is the Gatefold Shadow Frame Creator die set from Tonic, and there are 25 different dies in this one, and this makes a shadow frame with the approximate finished size of 148mm by 51 by 79mm, which is 5.8 inches by 2 inches by 3.1, and there you are. You can see the beautiful designs that are all inside that one. And then these other 3 are insert dies. So this was the Wedding Gatefold Shadow Frame insert with 14 dies. This one is the Baby Gatefold Shadow Frame insert, which is 14 dies in there as well. And then the Christmas Gatefold Shadow Frame insert die set, which has 16 dies. So these all fit with this one, but this one has all the dies it needs itself just to make a really beautiful scene or a couple of scenes here. And I think I'll do a second video to follow this up because there's really far too much to put in one. So just at the moment I'm not sure which ones will be in which, but you can follow along and check out the second video as well. Obviously then that's a good time if you want to subscribe and hit the notification bell, and then you'll be able to see that one when it comes up and see loads more videos if you like to follow along. And of course don't forget, if you do enjoy it, give me a big thumbs up and leave me a little comment. Right, now back to this one. Some people have been asking already, just before I even get into this, if these dies fit with a previous shadow frame set that was available for Tonic. Well, I have got one of those here, and this is one that I made a while ago with the last shadow frame set, and although it has this arch in the front, you can see here that this one is much longer and narrower, so no, unfortunately it doesn't fit in. I'm sure there's some way that it could be adapted, but it doesn't fit just straight or directly into that. There you are, you can see the difference there. Anyhow, I am going to have a look through this one and we'll just get to making something, because I'm sure, I remember with this one I made a box and then I made some cards and a memory book as well, and I'm quite sure there's scope for doing all that with these as well, and probably lots more too. So we'll have a quick look at this one. 25 dies, as I said, here, and they are absolutely beautiful, and you can see there the fold back part here where this is going to fold forward and then be the gatefold part. So here are the instructions, and there's not too many, just 7, and obviously lots of decoration after that, but just 7 basic instructions. That means it must be pretty simple to put together. It also folds not flat but flatter than it would be when it's standing up, and I'll measure that when I get it finished just to show you how that looks, and there's a little belly band for around that as well. So let's have a little look here. These dies look really beautiful, and I love scenes like this. I love sort of really peaceful and tranquil things, and I really love this. So I love the swans and all of that, and I am really looking forward to making this up. Beautiful bulrushes and swans, and you can use all of these together. You can use the clouds and the bits and pieces. You don't have to add them all into one. You can sort of mix and match them, and then, as I was saying earlier, with these other dies as well, there are definitely bits and pieces here that you could mix and match through. But there are different ways of using this, because you can cut out these panels and put them directly onto ordinary 2D cards. They don't have to be definitely always used with this shadow frame creator as well. But they do look beautiful. We've got best wishes here, thinking of you, and lots of love, and those are debossing sentiments, so they look absolutely beautiful whenever you deboss those into a kind of satin effect card or a mirror card, and I'll show you some of those as well. Well, I think I will just go and pick out some beautiful card and we'll start to make this. I think the first part of the video then will be showing you how to make up the actual gatefold shadow box itself, and then in the later parts, or in the second video or whatever, I'll show you how to adapt all those little inner inserts and different bits and pieces to make different things with them. But if you follow along with this bit, you'll be able to see how to make this gatefold part. First of all, you'll need to take this die and cut that out once, and that gives you this shape here, and then you can go ahead and reinforce all those score lines with your little bone folder, and there it is. That's the basic shape already for you. It's really easy. So you'll find just inside this die, I'll move this over and you can see it on my big magnetic sheet here. So just inside there, you'll see there are dies here, so they're plain ones. This is exactly the same on the other side, and then a decorative panel here, and this one doesn't have any outside cutting edges, so you'll find the exact opposite one right over here. So I have cut this one out and the opposite one in blue, and then I have used this and this together in silver, and I've backed one on top of the other, and that has given me these two beautiful panels here. And these are the pieces then that you can just glue on here, and do you know, already that looks really, really beautiful. There's loads of things you could do with these as well, but more of that later. Too many ideas, and I'll stick to the basic thing at the minute. Now you'll see this die, and you need to cut that out twice. So two of these are going to get attached on this side and two on this side, and you can go ahead and reinforce all those score lines just like this. So there'll be a valley fold and then two mountain folds with valley in between. And what we'll do, we've done that with 4 of them, so I've already joined this one together, and on this one then I'm just going to put glue down this little glue tab here and put that directly in underneath there, and line that up and hold that, and that just extends that out a little bit and makes it a little bit longer. Just make sure the glue has grabbed, and then I'll set that one aside. But what I'm going to do here is glue this glue tab directly on here. So you can see there how I lined the fold of that up where the glue tab is, right along the fold here, and then kept it perfectly flush with the bottom of the card as well. I'll do exactly the same thing with this one then. I'll put glue on here and attach that right in there. Now I wanted a blue background, a sort of sky background for this part, so I've taken this outer die with the little pinhole edging on it, and I'm going to glue the blue piece that I've cut directly on over there, and it fits on there. It looks really beautiful, but it also serves the purpose of covering up those little glue tabs there too. Next, you'll need to cut this one out 4 times, and those panels then are going to get glued on here. So you've got your 1, 2, 3 and 4 of the mountain folds there. So you'll cut 4 of those out, and you can decide what colour you want them. I'm going for a little sort of blue and green scene and a wee bit of white as well. So I've cut 1 out in each of those colours, and you can see here, these are the little decorative details that can go into the centre of them, and you can decide which sort of way you want those and which way you want them layered. But what I've done for mine, you can see here, they don't have outside cutting edges, so you'll need to just put them inside your big layer here. And to get the sort of way you want to cut these out, you'll set this one down on your paper, face down like this, because you'll need that panel. And then you can take this one, this one is really just for placement. So if you set that in there and get it sort of lined up exactly where you want to go with it, and then we'll take this one, that one can go in there, and that gives you a better idea of how to centre that. Obviously that would be cutting edge down, and let's just line that up to show you. Then you'll be able to tape this large one down on the outside, this one in the centre, and you can remove this one. And what you'll be doing then is taping these two to your paper or your card just like this, and running that through your die cutting machine, and then that gives me this shape. So I've now got this one, which I can go ahead and use here. Now that will apply to anything from any of the other sets, so I'm just showing you how I've done it for this one, but that's where it's going to go, and that's just to give you a little idea at the moment. But I'm going to set that one aside just for a minute or two, but I thought that was really, really lovely with those white clouds against that blue background for the sky there. For my next layer then, I have used this same placement that I did there, and I have cut out the one with the little swans in it. So if you have a little look at this one, you can see it's cut out the swans, and I wanted the water to be blue, so I've cut it blue, and then the swans are still blue, and the bulrushes there are blue as well, so that's not really the look I'm going for. So I've put a little piece of white card in behind just these pieces here, and I've cut the swans and the bulrushes out in white, and now I'm just going to fussy cut those out and glue them on. But before I glue them on, I'm going to colour in the bulrushes. I'll leave the swans white, and I'll colour those little bulrushes in green, with a little brown tip up at the top. I also thought that because these were water lily leaves that have been cut into this, that I'd cut a little piece of green just to fit in behind there. So that measures, just check it for you here, that measures 3 centimeters by 4.5, and I'm going to glue that just on the back there. Now, my next layer then has this one, so it's the same outer die, same placement, and then I have used this one, which has the bulrushes down at the bottom and the tree up here. And again, I'm going to go ahead and just add some detail onto this as well, because I think I would like to add a little bit of different green onto the leaves here, just here and there, a little bit of shading, and then I'll put brown onto where the bulrush tops are there as well. Then I was going to use that as the front layer, so I've taken some white 300 GSM card and I've cut it out with this one, and then I have used the same placement, setting this inside, and then I've used just a plain die in there, and I've taken the centre out, and now you can see it looks like this. But because it's the front one, then I'm going to decorate it. So what I've done is I have used both of these dies together. Again, I have set this one in just for placement and given myself the size of this for the frame, and I've cut that out in blue, and that's going to go directly on there. And I have used the same dies yet again, but with this one in the centre of it, and I've cut that out in silver, and I'm going to glue that on top of there. But before I glue it on, then I went ahead with the Thinking of You die, and I placed that on here and ran it through my die cutting machine. Just remember, whenever you're putting that on, check which way around it is, because obviously it's very easy just to put that on upside down, and when you've gone ahead and cut this out and got it looking really well, the last thing you want to do is mess it up at the end like that. So just a little tip. So I'm going to glue that on there, just directly on there, and that will just fit perfectly on there, and then I'll glue that on here, and then we'll come back and add them all into the card. I have all my panels ready, and I'm just going to start from the back and move forwards, then gluing on the underside of these tabs onto the top side of the mountain fold there, and just corresponding on the other side as well. And then that way you know that whenever all of these are pressed down, that's going to fit exactly inside there. So just glue on the underside of the tabs here and down onto these two areas here. Doesn't that look really, really beautiful? There's lots and lots of dimension on it, as you can see there, and then it just pops down flat like that, and you can close this over at the front. But I've thought that when it's open like this, I kind of like the white, but I think the blue would be nicer on here as well. So I've just used the same dies that I've used for the background of these ones, and I've cut it out again, just the plain ones this time in blue, and I'm going to glue those on there. So you'll see that just a little bit whenever it's opened, and I think it'll look really nice. Just finishes it off nicely. This is the die then that you would use for a belly band for around this to hold it closed, and when you cut it out there are little score lines on it which you just need to burnish, and then this is the little glue tab, and all you need to do is glue that directly onto there, and that's your little band to fit over the little card, and it will hold it all closed. So I have taken this little die and the same little thinking of you, and I'm going to glue that on there, and then that will hold the whole bit closed. Now I've opened this up again just to add one little last detail, and I'm actually not sure whether I even want it or like it, but it's this little feature here. So you'll find this little die in your set, and it cuts out two of these little pieces, and whenever you add these tabs on at the side, I'll show you another one here that I have cut out for a further project. You'll find two little gaps here, and those are the gaps that these can fit in, and then whenever your card's standing up and the concertina part is opened right up, you'll be able to pop those in there, and it holds it up straight and keeps those right out to the front. Just like that, so that fits in at the side and holds all that nice and neat together. But obviously you don't even need to do that. I think it's quite nice like that, and you could even put that on first of all and then put this over the top where those little joins are. But I'm just going to show you how I've affixed these anyway. Just make sure that you have those little areas opened properly. You can go in with your little pokey tool or whatever, and then you'll pop the rounded edge inside the slit there, and then just put some glue on this tab here. I've done the same with the other three, and then you can just pop that together and hold it right up level with the top of this part, and just hold that until the glue grabs, and that way you'll get it in the right place. Now, as I say, I'm not actually too sure whether I even like that on the card. I actually think I prefer it without it, but I'm putting it on to show you what that little die is anyhow. And there you are. Well, I absolutely love that, as I said, and I've got to confess to just having another set of dies that I just can't stop making stuff with. So I am going to go ahead and do 2 videos, but I'm going to do a little bit more on this one, and I'm going to show you how to use how I have used the baby die set. So that's the insert for the baby cards, and there are the dies that are in it. This is the little set here, and I'll just show you very, very quickly through them, and then I'll show you what I've done with them. I have gone ahead and done lots of things, and there's so much more I could do. My head's absolutely buzzing, but I have to stop somewhere. So I'm going to do the baby one and this one, and then I'll be straight back with another video, because I've actually done lots of die cutting, and I've got quite a bit of another one ready for you as well. So let's have a look here. We've got, obviously this would be best used with the first creator die set, you know, the Gatefold one, because the outside edges of all of these pieces here are in that main set that we used to make up this. So you'll get the plain die for the back here, but you can use this one in it, and I have done that. I will show you here because I've gone ahead and already cut some out. That beautiful cloud effect there is absolutely gorgeous. Obviously it probably would look really lovely on blue with a blue background, and that would be the sky, but I just fancy doing it in pink because I was doing a little baby girl card this time and I wanted pinks, and I've done some a boy card as well there in a different shape, and I'll show you that in a minute. So I have done that. Then we've got this beautiful one here with the curtains and the little baby girl, that is, and socks, and a little beautiful little rocking horse here, and then this one with the little stars and the this actually belongs to a different one, so I'll show you that in a minute or two, but there's a beautiful little cot on there. And then this is a separate one that lifts out, and you can cut that out and pop that onto the background of, say, this one in here. And you would obviously need one of these outside edges for that because it has no outside edges. Or you can cut it into the card and back some of those some of those pieces back in again. That doesn't actually belong there, it's just there in the die set. This one is absolutely gorgeous. I will show you that right here. So I have got the front for this one already cut out, and it has this beautiful mobile up at the top, and then this actually cuts out just the white area, but you've got this die here which cuts out the solid shape, and I have paper pieced that back in there. And then we've also got this little die here which pops in behind this one, and I've paper pieced that one back in there, as you can see. And then I have gone ahead and used the pieces that I used for the front of this card to go on here, and I've used that in pink. So that's going to be the front this time. Now I used 300 GSM card for all this piece here on that one, and on this one I'm just using the texture weave card, which is 216, and I think it's fine, either would do. But I'm just putting 2 layers on this time. I've got this one with the beautiful little vest hanging. I think I've used that on a different card. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what I've done with this layer and this one. And then I've used the baby girl and congratulations on this one as well. And baby boy is for a different one. So let's see what we've done. I've got these, and I could obviously have just used 2, one on each side, without going ahead and gluing these in and making this longer, but I did want it to be able to sit up with a bit of dimension. So what I'm going to do is glue my pieces on the second one and the top one, and leave these 2 in between, because it just gives that little bit more height. But you could actually go ahead and just leave it with one of those. Now I've cut out this in a deeper pink with the insert with the rocking horse on it, and then I've gone ahead with the same rocking horse one, and I've cut the outside edge the way I did in some of the others there, but I have used one of these outside edges here just to cut the white area around it. So I've used this one along with that rocking horse one to get this beautiful shape here. Now I've come back in and I have cut it again in pink, the deeper pink and the paler pink, and I've paper pieced some of those pieces back on again. I think that looks really, really cute. It's absolutely gorgeous. And I took the little heart that was from here and I popped it onto the little baby grow there, and it's a really lovely feature. So now what I'm going to do is, this is the same, I've cut this in exactly the same way as I did for the layers that I've used in here, and I am going to glue this one directly on top, being very, very careful to line this up with this, and I'll go ahead and glue that on there. This one then is going to be my back area, so that's going on to the second one here, and I'm going to glue these glue tabs right onto the top of that mounting fold and do the same thing on the other side on the second one here, and then I'm going to add this one on the top, making sure that these are exposed here, so that if I want I can add those little tabs in again, but I actually don't think I'm going to add them, but I'm going to leave that so that you know where they go anyway. I've actually looked at this and I don't even think you need to put those in there. I think you could probably just cut those off on the back one and glue that directly on top, but I'm going to go with this anyway, and you'll see this come together just in a second. I think it's absolutely beautiful. Of course, I did go ahead and put the tabs on, and then I put the pink panels on here and covered them this time, so they look a little bit different from what I did here, but it was just to show you 2 different ways of doing that, and the depth that's in that without all of the layers, because that's certainly another way of using it as well. If you don't want so many layers inside, you can still do that. And then I've made the little belly band, so that closes right down again, like so. And I've got congratulations on there. Isn't that so cute? Now, I have gone ahead and made a different card, so I've made a flatter card this time, and here it is. And I really, really love that. So I wanted to show you the two panels there and two different panels on here. So I have used the other dies on this one. I've used the one with the little baby grow and the little, there's a little box up on the shelf there, and as you can see, I've put that on the front, and I didn't want to obscure the little stars that are from the panel in behind, so I just nipped this one off. And feel free, you can do that on any of them, nip bits and pieces off that you don't want. This is an A6 card, and then I've put the panel, which I have, it's similar to the one on the front here, it's just the other different decorative part, and I've put that on top of a piece of silver card, and I've attached it to the card front with 3D foam pads. And then I've used these two panels, as I said, so I've cut this one out, and then this one with the beautiful little cot, and I've used the outside edge this time, so I've cut them both with this, and then you can see I've used very, very fine 3D foam pads. So first of all, the little cot one was glued directly onto the blue panel here, and then the next one with little baby grow, I took the box off, and then you can see in there I've used very, very thin strips of 3D foam pads just in between the two to elevate that and give it another little bit of height, and I'm really, really pleased with the way that one has turned out. You can see on the top here, there, just behind my little bow, there's a little heart that was cut out, and I kept that as well and paper pieced that and put it back straight onto the little baby grow, and it's so beautiful. And I used this little ABC, the little blocks, and put them on here on 3D foam pads, and I've got baby boy across the bottom. And I just thought that would be a really nice way to show you how to use the card the dies in a different way to make a different card with it as well. So that's all I'm going to do in this video, but I have loads of bits and pieces cut out, as you probably saw there. I brought that in, ready for my next video, where I'm going to show you the wedding and Christmas inserts, and then I'm going to show you how to make a little memory book from this as well, and adapt this die with the concertina piece at the sides of it to make that as well. So don't forget to come back and check that one out as well. I'm sure you'll agree with me that this is an absolutely fantastic die set, die collection. It all works together so wonderfully well, and you could have so many, many different combinations of that. You don't have to have so many layers. You can make flat cards. It's just, it's really floating my boat, if that's the expression. I love it, and I'm going to come back with more. So thank you very, very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already done that, and hit the notification bell. You'll see the next one once it comes up. And if you do enjoy it, don't forget to please give me a big thumbs up and leave me a little comment to let me know that you've enjoyed it. My affiliate links for everything that I've used will be down below in the description, and I really appreciate everybody who uses those as well, because it doesn't cost you anything extra, but I get a little commission from that too, and that always helps. Thanks very much again, and happy crafting in the meantime. Bye bye.